Okay, so I understand that talking circles should be about important things, and it shouldn't be a non-event. But at the same time, it would be lovely if they were not something that needed to be pre-taught, not something that I spent a lot of time at the beginning of EFP 12, English First Peoples 12 this year, setting the framework for how we were going to operate, for the cultural, historical context. Um, and I keep thinking how wonderful it's going to be to teach EFP 12 eventually and have students who have all had experience with all of these different ways of knowing and ways of learning, and who understand that it takes time to build trust, and that's okay. Um, to be able to just say, okay, we're going to have a talking circle on this topic now, and have everyone, I guess, just sort of switch gears. It is a gear shift. It's not a class discussion. It's not a game in a circle. I think we're sort of loaded with games in circles and to associate circles with fun, loud activities. Whereas this is more about focus and being present and allowing somebody else to share their experience and their knowledge, to be a learner, and that we all are. I want to get to a point, I think, if I had to say one thing, where my role is holding the space if needed, if reminders are needed and so on, for staying on task or whatever. But other than that, having students be able to take turns leading, to have a grade 12 English course or a grade 12 Francais course feel more like a seminar on some days, where it's not me, which would probably be a lot more work, but yeah, I really enjoy seminar courses. I mean, I can see the students who really enjoy having some control and some leadership, academically.
Thank you. You really helped me out. I think I have a simple goal, and I think I have like a more complex, idealistic goal. So my simple goal is just getting to the point consistently in classes, with groups where students get comfortable with giving something, or that they want to bring themselves to it, that they see it as an opportunity to share who they are and their voice. So that's my goal. I feel like we get there in small chunks, slowly, and then, yeah, so I really want to get better at that. I'm trying to get there quickly, and when I've seen elders and knowledge holders hold circles, like they're able to get there really quickly with people. So that's something I've really admired and I'm trying to figure out. Long term, I like to think of circles not just as like a space of like having students or anybody in one circle, but circles as like a community. And so my like long-term goal or vision would be to work in schools where everybody understands that they're a part of like a community of people that can share consistently, openly, given each other's positions, and that there's sort of like these concentric circles within a school. So there's the staff as a circle that really can come together, maybe not on everything, but can come together. I mean, that is the goal of like a staff meeting, but can we do it where, everybody does share? Maybe it's concise, but at least there is that space. And I think that if you have that, and you have the larger circle of the full school staff, and you have these kinds of like concentric circles of communication, that when students are in the class and they are sharing and they are like sharing of themselves, that those like that communication will feel clear and comfortable to them, that they know where sort of they're a part of, and the staff know where, like, how they're a part of everything. Hopefully that makes sense. Sort of like a metaphor in a way, but also means collecting together at discrete times to solve problems and to share problems that you can like come together and figure out together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
So
I was
please.
thinking there are a few different things. That communication piece, I agree entirely. I agree with everything Etienne said.
Of course.
And I wanted to reinforce, yes, when it comes to circle pedagogy, I've read a lot, but nothing has taught me more than interacting with traditional knowledge keepers and being able to ask them questions and being able to be open to the knowledge and lore that they've been comfortable sharing with me and with the group, and witnessing the use of story to open the circle. We did a professional development yesterday and talking about the importance of story. And I'm realizing that every single traditional knowledge keeper that I've had in any of my classes has always started with a very solid recount of how they got to where they are. And I feel like there's room for us to be doing that. As teachers, we keep ourselves so very separate. Obviously, we have to edit, but um, we are often reluctant to share our own journeys while we're asking students to share theirs. So being generous ourselves so that others will feel comfortable being generous with the trust, I think is essential.
I know that I know that we're coming out of a period of like pretty intense isolation, with like this COVID isolation behind us, and I know as a person that's like coming to be a new teacher during that time, there were so many moments I felt genuinely really isolated, like really isolated. And it wasn't because people didn't want to connect. It's that all of the things that already were there, which people would usually connect over, where like we're severed off, and then you're coming into workplaces where not only are you new, which is a challenge, but also it's a government mandate to not communicate. So there were a few moments where there was this like motivation for staff to get together in a circle in these brief, not lockdowny periods. And it was like those few moments that actually kept me connected to those schools. Um, so I just really think circles for me are just about not being isolated, the opposite of that.